Hello YouTube, I'm Trenlass and welcome back to a next car review. This time we have the XPENG P7 long range, again from the Autohaus Kuhn and Witte, and I want to thank them for making this video possible. I also want to thank Ditjon Sinani to making this video possible. So, I already covered the XPENG G6 and the XPENG G9 on my channel, and now we got the last currently available model in Germany, which is the XPENG P7. You can get this car in 3 different variants. The XPENG P7 long range, which only has a rear wheel motor, and XPENG Performance with dual all-wheel drive, and the XPENG Performance with the wing edition, which means you basically have in the front doors are wing doors and open upwards, which is pretty cool. We have currently here the XPENG P7 long range, so the starting version that starts from 49,000 euros, although it's far cheaper on the market already currently, so there's a lot of offers starting just above 40,000 euros. So from the look, I must say it's the best looking XPENG. I like the P7 the most. I'm more like a sedan guy instead of a SUV guy, so I really like the long hood here. I like the light stretching completely through here, and I like that I also integrated the bottom, the main lights, the headlights on the bottom. We have it in the white color here, and we also have the long range wheels, which are covered a bit, but they still look pretty good. Overall, from the proportions, very good looking car. And now we're gonna go to the back. So we're at the back of the car. There's 2 ways to open the car, either with the key or you can press this button. And then we're gonna take a look at the booth. You can come a bit closer, Mrs. Trenlass. We have 440 liters of space, which is quite a lot. Unfortunately, the window in the back is not opening, so it's quite a small entry, but it's still a pretty big booth. You can also reject the seats on the back, and you will get eventually 910 liters, which is quite a lot of space. So under here, there's not additional space, there's just a tiny bit of coverage for other stuff. And we're now gonna go to the back of the car. So, welcome back to the back of the car. If you can see, we have a very nice leather interior in black. It's the so-called comfort package, or it has a different name, I'm not sure right now, but it basically offers you full Napa leather all across the car, and also some Dyn Audio sound system, which is very good. The back seat is set for me. This thing is automatically set on the car owner. Once you go into the car and sit down, you have a memory function, and it will adjust to whatever seating height you are. This will still go forward, so this is actually further in the back than it would be for me. But as you can see, we still have quite some space. The only downside is we can barely put our leg onto the seat, but there's still plenty of leg room. You can also put your legs a bit under the seat, which is very nice. And not that common on EVs. Headroom wise, there could be a bit more. I'm 180, but considering this is a super flat sedan, we still have half a fist upwards. So for people with like 185, it's gonna be a bit hard in the back, but you have more than enough space in the front. Furthermore, we have some storage here. We can also fold this down and have 2 cup holders here, which is very nice. We also have a USB port here, a USB-C, and we can adjust the direction of the airflow. One downside, which a lot of EVs don't have, there is a bit of a upwards movement here. Usually it's completely flat. I don't know why it's up here. The other XPENGs don't have it. I would need to ask why, but this should be also flat. And yeah, everything feels really good. Soft material here. There's an ambient light here, which is currently offline because I didn't start the car, but there would be ambient light here. You can open the windows. Oh, actually, because it's not open the car now, but you could open the windows. They go down like this, so not completely down, but still pretty nice. You have privacy glass in the back, and you have a full panoramic roof, split into two windows. There is a little stop here. It is a bit black tainted, so you won't get blended by the sun from it, which is very, very nice. You also have light here you can activate by touching, and you just touch it again and it goes, which is very, very nice. And now we're just gonna move forward, and thank you for enjoying this time in the back. So welcome back to the front, guys. As you can see, the quality in the front is very, very nice. We have ambient light in the front. We have also ambient light here. The air ventilation is hidden on the bottom here. We have two inductive charging pads, which is very nice. You can put your phone here and charging. We have cup holders here. You just press them down like this and they go down. If you don't need them, you can press a button. We have some massive space here, which you can open to both sides, which is very nice. And everything is coated in that leather, which is very, very nice. The black leather with the red stripes looks really, really good. Steering wheel is also heated and has also a few buttons here. This is for voice control. These buttons can be set individually. You can either control the climate with it, you can put the sound on, lower the sound. So they're customizable, which is very, very nice. You also have a very, very good looking metal piece which says about the Ditjon audio system, which really looks really good, and everything feels really good here. It's super soft. Here the leather. The only downside is the bottom where it's hard plastic, but that's perfectly fine. You also got some mirrors here, which do look pretty good. To activate the warning light, unless most other cars on the bottom, you have to press here. And yeah, in front of us you have the infotainment system. You have one screen for the driver and you have one massive screen for the middle. The system is very, very fluent, which is very, very nice. Like, unlike most other German brands, just like most Chinese brands, the system is very, very fluent, which is nice. You also have multiple apps. I covered it already in the other XPENG videos. You have Prime Video, for example. You can log in with your Amazon account, watch some movies, which is very nice. You can use YouTube, you can use Spotify, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You also have a Sentry mode, which is absolutely amazing. The Sentry mode is, if you know it from Tesla, basically you can lock your car, activate the mode, and if somebody comes, for example, and starts scratching the car will film it and you have it on the camera. You can activate it. Or somebody rams your car and drives away. It's an absolutely amazing feature. Other than that, the system works just like the other XPENGs. So once you have driven one, it works pretty much the same. You can here change standard, sport, individual, put how you want to have the steering, the recuperation. X pedal is pretty much one pedal drive, which means it's pretty much one pedal drive. It will recuperate pretty strong, but the last 2-3 kilometers you have to press the brake pedal. Personally, I think that's not a bad idea because it reminds you to use the brake pedal. But some other people would probably say, I would rather love a full stop, a full one pedal drive. So it's kind of a fake one pedal drive, but it's still pretty cool. Sound system is really, really good. The Ditjon audio system is very, very nice. You also have heated steering wheel, heated seats in the front, heated seats in the back, and also ventilated seats in the front. There is no massaging seats, but you still have the feature for everything, which is more than enough, honestly. Yeah, what I can say to the car, and you will notice when we drive it, just like the other XPENGs, it's very quiet. It's also, you can't really hear the outside that much, so the build quality is really good in that department. And one thing that surprised me, this car is crazily efficient. We're having currently a state of charge of 45%, and the dynamic range tells me we can still go 284 kilometers. I've picked up the car with 81% and have driven quite a bit, like probably nearly 200 kilometers of range, mostly in the city, but also on countryside and on the Autobahn. And we averaged, the last 100 kilometers, we averaged a consumption of 14.5 kilowatt hours, which is absolutely insane. And if you drive this car mostly in the countryside and on the city, you can easily go over the VLTP of 570 and even reach 600 kilometers of range, which is for an EV absolutely crazy. considering this battery is only 82 kilowatt hours big. So that's a very, very crazy value. Now we're gonna close the door and now we're gonna go for a drive, and I see you in a bit. So welcome back. We are currently driving in the city, and now I wanted to talk a bit about the car. First of all, super silent, you barely hear something outside. But what I didn't mention, and that's a really, really cool feature about the car, I think it has one of the best suspensions I've ever sat in a car. It is quite stiff, but at the same time it is very, very comfortable. I love that you can drive this car pretty sporty, but at the same time you don't give up anything in regards of comfort driving. It has a conventional suspension, it doesn't have an air suspension, but it's a very, very smooth ride, and the overall ride quality is so good. Now, again, as I said already, this is the long range version, so it only has rear wheel drive and 280 horsepower instead of the 470 horsepower of the performance version. Is it quick? I still think it's still a fast car, but for me personally, since I'm already used to a lot faster EVs, like the other XPENGs were all the performance models, if I would take this car, I would definitely get the performance version. Like, once you go that road and you kind of like get used to these insane horsepowers, it does feel a bit lackluster. Now, this is by nowhere means a slow car, and for most people it will be far more enough. Plus it reaches up to 217 kilometers an hour on the speedometer. Officially it's set for 200 GPS, so I guess it's realistic that it's driving 200 kilometers an hour. However, I would get the performance version personally. When it comes to city driving, the consumption, what I reached, was at best around about 11ish kilowatt hours, which is a very, very good value. Theoretically, it would mean you could drive pretty much 700 kilometers without charging, which is pretty good. Now, to the charging, there's the one downside. Unlike the other models, this is the oldest model available in Germany. It has a 400 volt system, not an 800 volt system like the XPENG G6 or G9. That means it's not charging from 10 to 80% in 19 minutes. It needs a bit longer. However, for a 400 volt system, it's still pretty good. The official claimed peak is 175 kilowatt hours, but I've seen it already going up to nearly 180. And under optimal conditions, you can charge this car from 10 to 80% in around 25 minutes. I think it's said on the website 29, but I've seen multiple occasions on the internet as well, on the videos already, that you can even achieve 25 minutes, which is an absolute amazing value considering how big the battery is. And this is still a 400 volt system. So even if you decide to go for this car instead of the other two XPENGs, it's still a pretty fast charging car. Plus, out of all three, it's the most efficient due to aerodynamics. Yeah, again, the heating steering wheel feels very nice. Everything lies good. No cracking or something. This is also soft touch. Super silent and smooth rides. And all I gotta say now is we see us on the highway, and I see you in a bit. So welcome back on the highway, guys. We are currently driving 100 kilometers an hour, and I'm gonna go full throttle now in sport mode, and we see how long it takes to reach 200 kilometers. And we're going now 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, and we are at 200, 210, 213, it stops, 213 it was. Wind noises are still pretty good. I'm probably really loud on the camera, but pretty good inside. Car is super stable and it just works. Like, I cannot complain in any other way. It feels super duper stable. I'm gonna slow down now again though. has still a pretty good acceleration, even above 100 kilometers an hour for an EV, which is really, really good. Now, when I blink, you will notice I have an additional camera that shows me the back, which has really, really good quality as well. I'm gonna switch over now to standard mode, and I'm gonna set the speed, or I'm gonna set the cruise control at 130 kilometers, so we can test the consumption on the highway now. It is set now on 130 kilometers. We're gonna look at the consumption chart and we're gonna let it work. We're gonna drive for a bit. It's now reset it to 2.5 kilometers and we'll see where we end up. We also have seat heating on Mrs. Trenlass seat, but let's see where we end up. Outside is 17 degrees Celsius. It is dry now. It rained a bit before, but it's now dry, and we'll see what kind of energy consumption we can add up. We're gonna keep driving for a bit. Again, at 130, the wind noise is of course way lower than at 200 kilometers, but it just feels very, very nice. I'm gonna take you quick over here. We're gonna keep driving for a bit, and let's see and up here. To activate cruise mode, you pull this handle down once. To activate the autopilot, you're gonna press it twice. Now the car is full self-driving. I can remove my hands from the steering wheel, but he will tell me to put my hands on the steering wheel after a few seconds. So you can have it pretty much active the whole time when you hold it like this. It can also do a lane turn on its own, and as soon as you go into the lane again, it's gonna be set. Are you back? So we keep driving now a bit for 130. I'm gonna deactivate the lane control though and just keep the cruise control on. We're gonna try to drive for as long as we can on 130 kilometers now an hour. Currently we're averaging a consumption of 20 kilowatt hours, which goes down even a bit to 19.8, which is pretty good. We're gonna wait a bit longer to have a bit more data. And as you can see, we're ending up around 19 to 20 kilowatt hours, which is very, very nice. And it means realistically you will be able to reach 400 kilometers easily on the highway, which is very, very cool for a car. Like 400 kilometers is a magic mark for most EVs, which is absolutely fantastic news. And it shows you that this car is pretty darn efficient when it comes to this. I'm gonna raise it now to 140, and we're gonna see how it's gonna be in 140. We're gonna wait for a second, let it pass first. Da schneide ich gleich raus, aber anlassen, ja? Now putting the cruise control on 140, which is a bit faster, and we're gonna see how our consumption chart is gonna change now. Kannst aber stoppen. Okay, we're currently driving 140. It goes up and down, and we are currently at 20.7 kilowatt hours, 21, pretty much 21 kilowatt hours, which is still an absolutely fantastic value. So even if you drive a bit faster, I would go for sure saying realistically it's more like 22-ish to 22.5 kilowatt hours because we are in a pretty flat terrain in northern Germany, but that's still an absolutely amazing value. So consumption wise, very, very good. Now we will leave the highway now and we're gonna drive real quick to a little town, and I'm gonna show you there. I'm gonna come to the final verdict of the review, and I'm also gonna show you how well the parking system works. And I'll see you in a bit. So, we have reached our final destination. It's a parking spot. And as you can see, here is the 360 overview from above. The camera system is very, very good. Now I'm gonna let the car park automatically itself, which is a very cool feature. We gotta press here, and I press auto park, and I need to go from the brake. And now let's make him do the magic. He does it. This car does it really, really smooth. Okay. Oh nein, mach das mal nicht. Lass das mal nicht zeigen. Stopp nochmal. So we reached our final spot. And I'm going to show you quickly the parking system. We have a 360 camera, which is very, very good. And you can either automatic park, although I would only recommend doing that if there's stripes and enough space, because people tend to park very, very questionable here. But I want to show you the camera system now. And we're going to drive backwards. And as you can see, the 360 camera is absolutely amazing. The whole car system feels very good. It also warns you. I'm gonna drive on purpose a bit. It shows you even the distance. We're now gonna go a bit forward. And with that, we are already parked in. Now again, they tend to park very questionable here because there's no stripes, so people just park how they want. But it just shows you how good the system is. It also covers the ground, which is very nice. And it will show you then how it scans the ground and shows you how it looks underwards. What I like a lot is that the tire position is pretty accurate. So once you see something like this, you know exactly where you could stop potentially. And perfect. We're parked in perfectly. Now I'm just gonna jump outside of the car and come real quick to my verdict.
Hi.
So, this was the review and the test drive of the XPENG P7 long range. An absolute gorgeous car. Would I recommend this car? Would I personally buy it? I would personally buy it. I think it's the best looking XPENG. It also is heavily discounted at the moment, so you can already have offers from 39,000 to 41,000 instead of the original 49,000. So give it a test drive. The thing I like the most is the suspension. Obviously the aesthetics, the look is really, really good. I just love sedans. The space is one of the downsides. That's where the XPENG G9 and XPENG G6 are better, especially when it comes to headroom. But other than that, it's an absolutely amazing car, and you should definitely give it a try. The efficiency is good, the build quality is absolutely amazing, and all I gotta say is, go XPENG, check it out. Kuhn and Witte, Autohaus Kuhn and Witte, thank you so much for making this video possible. And I'll see you to the next car review. Your Trenlass out. Thank you so much for watching and bye bye.
Super.